right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. Okay. This will be a wars and rumors of wars and uproars of the people. All right, basically prophecy, things going on around the world, and things to come here in Babylon the Great. All right, because we know, with everything happening, the major thing in the news now is the BRICS nations. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up something on the BRICS. The BRICS nations ready to get rid of the dollar. All right, ready to basically begin a new world currency with America being left out. And that's basically what's going on. All right. Let me type this in. Let me type in nations that have joined BRICS. Okay. Now we know the acronym: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Those were the beginning nations. Let's see, members of the BRICS countries. It's more than just 5. Okay, new candidate country. Let's look at that, because this is the major thing in the news now. Okay, as of this article goes back to November the 9th. Again, this is Google, so you know what? Google they be they be taking up all the okay, here we go. Here's one. And this goes back to February, so about 2 months ago almost. Okay, here's one from March the 16th, 2023. Let's look at this one. Okay. It says African nations reiterate their requests to join BRICS amid ongoing global political woes. All right, so as you can see, you have all these nations ready to join the BRICS. Okay, and I believe as they're gaining momentum, this is the reason why Biden had requested from Congress going back in March. I believe it was March, beginning of March, he requested $842 billion 2024 fiscal year military budget, because ultimately, as the BRICS nations continue to make these deals with the rest of the world, it's going to lead to nothing but war. All right, that's basically what's going to happen. War is going to come out of this. Okay, war is going to come out of this because America is no longer the top dog. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Joel. I believe it's 3. Let the weak say that I am strong. All right. Yep, Joel 3, And I'm gonna start at 9. Okay. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And this is what has happened throughout the years. That's why China is doing what they're doing. All right. China is going around the world and getting these different nations to join into their economic, their new world economic trade, so to speak, by using the yuan, or I don't know if you pronounce it yuan or the yuan, Chinese currency, instead of the Federal Reserve note. All right, and you have Saudi Arabia. Matter of fact, they're a major one. Okay. BRICS debates expansion as Iran, Saudi Arabia seek entry. And this was going back to February 14th, 2023. All right. We're in April 2023. And these deals are becoming that much more closer. All right. Saudi Arabia is one of the world's biggest oil exporters. Okay. And that's the only reason the dollar is still alive, is because oil is traded in the petrodollar, the U.S. dollar. Once that stops, okay, we're gonna see hyperinflation in America like we've never seen it. All right, the dollar will literally be worth nothing. Okay, it will be worth nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay, and this is why you're gonna see war, and this is why you're gonna see the administering of the RFID technology, the CBDC. They already told you, beginning this month here in April, they're starting the trials. It's basically what they call it, for all these major companies to jump on board, because July they plan on going full-fledged with this cashless society, because they know the dollar's is done. All right. It says, this article here said, BRICS debates expansion as Iran, Saudi Arabia seek entry. More than a dozen countries express interest in membership. This was going back in February. BRICS seen as counterweight to Western-dominated institutions. All right, and this is why the Xi Jinping, when he was in Russia, he said the world is going to see change that it hasn't seen in 100 years, because their plan is to use a different currency for world trade, a currency that actually has substance. Okay, and I'm not gonna, try to pull this up. I don't know why my computer ain't letting me read it, but we get the point. As you can see, going back February 14th, 2023, and these talks are still, you got countries still wanting to get involved with the BRICS nations, all right? And they got the support from military with Russia, all right? A couple of weeks ago, Russia just forgave billions of dollars in debt to countries in Africa. So they're making their ties, just like the scriptures say. All right, the Lord is using Russia, all right, to gather all these nations to assemble against Babylon the Great, pursuing Ezekiel the 38th chapter. This is the Lord's doing. All right. Where did I leave off? No, not that yet. Okay, yeah, this is the one. All right. NATO chief issues warning to China. All right, and this is dated April the 6th, 2023. So the world is is strictly on high alert for war to kick off anytime. All right, and let's get that. It's gonna go to 14, but we're gonna go up a little bit. Matthew 24, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right. See, all this is supposed to be happening. This build up, this great build up is supposed to be happening. All right. It says NATO chief issues warning to China. The head of U.S.-led military bloc also unveiled a new strategic multi-year assistance program for Kiev. NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg has urged China to hold its growing alignment. All right, they trying to tell in China not listening. Maybe 20 years ago, hell, even 10, 15 years ago, they would have backed the fuck up. But this is a sign that the big bad bully, Babylon the Great, is getting ready to get his ass whooped, destroyed. All right. Well, they gotta urge China to hold its growing alignment with Russia. All right, warning that any military assistance from Beijing to Moscow during the conflict in Ukraine would be a historic mistake with major consequences. Which Russia already run that. They got that. All right. It says, speaking after the conclusion of a NATO foreign ministers meeting in Brussels on Wednesday, Stoltenberg sounded alarms over Moscow's friendly ties with the People's Republic, suggesting Beijing could soon offer weapons to Russia despite its insistence that has no plans to do so. All right. So America, they can't control shit no more. They throwing sanctions on countries, and the countries ain't even giving a damn. You know? They going right to BRICS. They throwing sanctions on nations. They going right to BRICS. Basically saying to hell with the U.S. All right? And it just hasn't hit here yet. See, the people here, majority, all right, don't have a clue what's getting ready to hit. All right? They don't have they gonna get that wake up call when they try to go to the bank that Saturday morning or maybe a Monday morning. You know, getting ready to put gas before you gotta go to work and your car not working. You seeing you know, an unusual amount of cars at the gas station this morning because nobody's car is working. You seeing people speeding out of Starbucks because the Starbucks, you can't get Starbucks Monday morning. You people here in America are gonna find out the very hard way. All over the world, all right, you having protests because of the money issue. All right, it's gonna come to America. Best believe that. It's just taking a little longer because you know, the dollar's been the head currency for a century, you know, over a century. Okay? But it's indeed coming. It says China refuses to condemn Russia's aggression, and it props up Russia's economy, he claimed, adding, allies have been clear that any provision of lethal aid by China to Russia would be a historic mistake with profound implications, meaning war. All right, this is war talk, okay? And there will be a third world war. But before this world war kick off, we're gonna have the implementation of the RFID technology, the CHIP. All right, the CHIP is going to be implemented, and war is going to insist. All right, it may all happen simultaneously. All right, but that CHIP is going to be made mando when this when this currency crashes. Okay, you might see the dollar go to shit. It ain't worth nothing, and total chaos and destruction ensues in the streets. And then Esau can use that the excuse of the dollar going. He could blame it on Russia. You could have a so-called false flag. You can have a false flag, and they can blame it in the midst of this place going down. All right, it's so many ways this thing is gonna play out, but we know it's gonna be very terrible. All right, it's gonna be terrible when it really goes down. All right, for those of you who don't have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai as your shield and buckler, and you just out here thinking America's gonna prolong and it's gonna overcome. It's not. It's over for this place. All right. This place literally is circling the drain. Okay? I think that's pretty. I don't want to read the rest of this. Let's see. I mean, it's pretty much, saying that they basically not finna, bag down. Okay, don't nobody want to hear what America has to say anymore because they're no longer the world's superpower. Now they still have a powerful military, but all these other nations have powerful militaries, and they're getting military assistance from Russia. All right, and their currency is backed by real gold and silver. All right. I seen an article today that said that gold has gone past $2,000 per ounce and is continuing to rise. All right. Just a year ago, it was $1,600. Now it's up to $2,000 per ounce. All right. So, as Yahweh Shai said in Matthew 24, we just read, all right, we're going to hear of these wars and rumors of wars, all right? Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. There was just an earthquake in California up north. It was a little, 4-pointer. But the point being is happening. All right. I believe that big one is on the way. All right. You had that earthquake in Turkey not too long ago. All these different pestilences coming out. Esau every other day. There is a fungi Osiris. Now the Mondo burger Osiris. There's a threat of the Mondo burger, And we already know that the food, these different facilities and the crops are being destroyed. All right, them tornadoes that hit Arkansas. All right, all these things are happening because these are all the beginning of sorrows. Matter of fact, let me read from 6 down to 8. Get all the meat off this bone. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay? Is that not what we're seeing? Nations are rising against nations. Nations is we gonna rock with bricks. The NATO is trying to send warning shots. Okay? And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All this stuff that's happening are just the beginning of sorrows. All right? You see the videos of the black woman. She talking about she ready to blow her brains out. because it's just too much pressure. And the pressure really ain't even started yet. Wait till you have to have the pressure of where you gonna get your next meal. You know what I'm saying? The pressure of men looking to grab you up and have their way with you, because there's gonna be lawlessness out here. The pressure of the money not being worth shit. All right? The pressure of not having 911 to call. It really ain't got cracking yet, but it's going to get there. All right? It's going to get there. Now, I wanted to show some of these uproars. All right? This is off of Weon. Okay? And these people are in uproar because of IMF deal and demand jobs. All right? IMF is tied to the Federal Reserve note. The Federal Reserve note ain't worth shit, all right? And this was 2 hours ago, okay? So you're going to have all the countries that have U.S. dollars. When this thing goes down, they're going to be in the worst case, especially here in the U.S., okay? But again, you got China, they going around telling these countries, look, get rid of that dollar because things are about to change. Get with this yuan. All right? So when this dollar go, you ain't going to be caught out there with it. Okay? Just like them presidents are telling them African presidents are telling their people, if you holding dollars, get rid of them. Okay? Let's listen. Let's watch this. And then I'm going to play a couple more, and then we'll give one more scripture, and that'll be it.
Now, Argentina has been in economic difficulty for years. On Wednesday, social and political organizations blocked multiple streets and highways into the Argentine capital. The Argentinians are up in arms against soaring inflation, poverty that affects nearly half of the population. Nearly 18.6 million people are unable to cover their basic food needs with their salaries. Left-leaning organizations...
You see, and in these countries, the people aren't armed as they are here in the U.S., okay? That's why you see them throwing rocks. They'll be throwing rocks, just setting tires on fire, pushing the cops, okay? When it comes to Babylon the Great, there will be bloodshed. Okay, the scriptures tell you in the book of Nahum, the horseman lifteth up his bright and glittering sword, and there is a multitude of slain. People are going to, like, crowds as you see like this are going to get mowed down. Okay, they're going to be getting mowed down when shit hits the fan in Babylon, man.
They're demanding more social aid from the government to counteract the economic deterioration. They set up blockades in over 120 spots in Buenos Aires and 20 other provinces across the country. Recently, the Argentine government published figures noting that poverty had increased to nearly 40% in the second half of 2022.
Right, so they in the uproar behind money. Behind money, man. It's all about that money. It says Argentina poverty increased to nearly 40% in the second half of 2022. So what you think it is now? To the point to where they out in the street demanding government aid and demanding help. Okay, because of inflation. They probably looking at hyperinflation right now. Okay?
Hay un montón de gente que aún trabajando está en la pobreza. Es decir, que los registros de pobreza incluyen.
It says there are a lot of people that, despite working, are in poverty. The employment registry includes, and that's what's happening here in America. All right? You got people working 2 and 3 jobs, 2 jobs, and barely getting by. Just got enough to pay their rent and to keep a little food on the table and cutting back on bills. Certain bills they don't even pay. They put the minimum on it. Okay?
a gente que tiene un trabajo cotidianamente, pero que no llega a cubrir la canasta básica. Y eso quiere decir que estamos frente a un ataque generalizado contra los trabajadores. Y que esto va a colocar...
Right, they got jobs, but they can't cover the basic food basket. This is what's gonna happen here in Babylon, man. But it ain't gonna be this type of peaceful protest. All right? It ain't gonna be this to where the police is gonna have control. Okay, and have everybody in check. Okay, you gonna see the wrath of the Lord out here in Babylon, man. Okay?
Muchísima gente en situación de indigencia a corto plazo.
At the main blockade in the capital, protesters said even the government's food, aid and soup kitchens are insufficient, as part of the demand is an increase in the government's funds that sustain some precariously paid jobs granted to millions of unemployed people. Annual inflation reached 102.5% in February. The February price rise figures marked the first time that inflation hit triple digits since 1991. Prices are set to soar this year, plunging more people into poverty. The demonstrators are against the adjustment policies that the IMF demands of the country, including cuts in social spending. The protesters, they urge the government to break the global organization. The government has agreed to refinance a debt of more than $44,000 million taken by former President Mauricio Macri.
Right. That's in Argentina. All right. This is in Kenya. 12 hours ago.
Kenya has been rocked by violent anti-government protests. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has called for regular protests every Monday and Thursday. He's accused the sitting president, William Ruto, of having stolen the last year's election and of failing to control the sharp surge in the cost of living. The protests have been termed as illegal by the government, but have frequently turned violent. International community and religious leaders have appealed for restraint and calm. The fear now...
Which this country might have a puppet in there. And this is why their people are uproaring. All right, they say he stole the elections.
That these protests could spiral out of control, similar to what happened in the aftermath of the 2007-2008 elections, ethnic fighting that ended with the deaths of more than 1,100 people.
Sporadic violence broke out in Kenya on the 30th of March. Thursday's demonstrations marked the third day of protests led by opposition leader Raila Odinga. Amidst heightened security, police in riot gear patrolled the capital, Nairobi, in anticipation of fierce clashes that had broken out on Monday during similar protests. Hundreds of Odinga's supporters surrounded the politician's convoy as it passed through Nairobi's neighborhoods, while others looked on from balconies and roofs, cheering and waving. Protesters engaged with riot police in pitched battles, hurling rocks and lighting bonfires in the middle of the road. The police responded by firing tear gas, water cannons, and even live bullets. So far, 2 civilians have been killed in the clashes. Additionally, 51 police officers and 85 civilians have been injured. Kenyan President William Ruto has urged his people to respect the rule of law.
What is going on in Kenya is the usual challenges of democracy, where people want to challenge the rule of law. Everybody must respect the rule of law, and everybody is entitled to the protection of their property.
On the 20th of March, Kenyan police used tear gas and water cannon on Odinga's convoy to prevent him from reaching the president's state house to deliver a petition. Senior lawmakers of Odinga's parliamentary faction were also arrested. Raila Odinga, who ran against William Ruto in Kenyan...
Which he's like who the people want. All right, and that's why I say that dude in there, he got to be a puppet. Okay, he has to be a puppet.
Last August blamed the state for unleashing a reign of terror on peaceful and innocent Kenyans.
Ruto's hands are all over this violence. When Azimio La Umoja called for protests in line with Article 37 of our Constitution, we never envisaged that in desperation, the state will respond by hiring goons and mercenaries to rain terror on peaceful and innocent Kenyans.
Kenyans are...
And that's what you're going to have here in the States. You're going to have people going out to protest, and you're going to have mercenaries and agent provocateurs within those crowds. And they're going to get things popping, man. We in the time, all right? As it is written, what is that? Thessalonians? No, not Thessalonians. Ephesians. That's why when these things get to popping, and you know, that ain't your cue to go out there, Jake, and you know, get with your people. Go protest, man. This is over. You better not go to no damn protest against the damn system. Because you didn't lost all your money in your bank account, you should know. All right, you should know it's coming. Okay, that's why wisdom and knowledge is the stability of our times. Okay. Ephesians 5 and 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." So when we start to see these things, as we're seeing it here in this place is Kenya, this one is Paris. When we start to see shit like this rapidly here in the States, that don't mean you go out there and get involved. You're gonna have Israelites even going out there to chasing that clout, trying to set up camp when people are pissed off about their money. And you go out there and you tell them you trying to rebuke them people, you might end up trampled underfoot. You know? We just sit back and watch the Most High do what he do, man, because this is their judgment. All right? And this is the last video. I'll play it just a little bit. But as you can see, we was in South America. We was in Africa. Now we over here in Paris. All right? Uproars of the people in the world. He trying to clock him. And like I said, these countries aren't armed. The citizens don't have access to firearms like they do here in the U.S., man. Okay? The Lord is setting this thing up beautifully. this was just 3 days ago. Okay, the weather's starting to get nice in Babylon. The money is starting to become worthless and more worthless. People gonna be out here just like this, mad as hell about their money. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get this scripture here. All right. Hey, you know, things are happening, man. Okay. Oh, you just had the creator of Cash App found dead. People's Cash App have gone, you know, totally been wiped out, not being able to use. And you mean to tell me that they ain't zoning in on this money? Okay. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And that's what we just did. We're looking at these videos, the article. We just measured the time diligently in itself. We just measured what time we living in. We ain't in the time of building anything. We in the time of preparing our souls, preparing our minds. All right, putting on the whole armor of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Let me get that next chapter, Ephesians, the 6th chapter. All right. This is the time we in, man, for you to have on this armor. Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right. And this is what's coming. Wiles of the devil. We know that Esau's behind all of this. We know Esau's behind the Cash App thing. All right. Esau's behind these wars and rumors of wars. All right. Uproars of the people. He has these people in uproars because his money ain't shit. And he knows it. He knows that the money is what's going to get people to get out there into them streets and to cause civil unrest and chaos. All right. Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. All right. And that's what you would call the so-called Illuminati, dealing with left-hand energy. All right. In order for them to bring these things into fruition on the planet Earth. This is why we got to have this whole armor. All right. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. Okay. That day is approaching. And having done all to stand, stand therefore having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Because having your faith on 10 is what's going to get you through all this turbulence we're getting ready to run into. Okay? When Yahweh Shai gave the parable of the storm came to beat on the house. All right. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that real quick. Let me see. Yep, Matthew 7. And I'm going to start at 24, all right? It says, Matthew 7:24, therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him to a wise man which built his house upon a rock. All right, your house right now is your mind. You should be building it on Yahweh Shai. He's that rock. Okay? He's that rock that we're building on. All right? So when this storm come, verse 25, and the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew. All right? That's all this hell that's coming. That's this, these type of riots and uproars and no money in the bank. No power. The lights is out at, you know what I'm saying? Total destruction. As Ephesians described it, the evil day. Okay? The evil day. That's what's coming. Okay? So when the rain descended and the floods came, the floods represent the armies, the military. Okay? And the winds blew. Okay? Is it not written in Isaiah 32? A man shall be a hiding place from the storm and from the wind. Okay? A man that is built up on faith, has built his house upon Yahweh Shai and has an abundance of faith that he is relying on to get him through, as we were reading in Ephesians 6. We're going to go back to, all right? And the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house. And it fell not. Why? For it was founded upon a rock. It was founded upon Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? Verse 26. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And that's all these jakes out here that's, going after they bag. Even Israelites trying to build something and save all black people and this, that, and the third. That's sand they building on. Okay? So the same rain that's going to descend, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it, because they didn't build themselves upon Yahweh Shai. All right? And it came to pass when Yahweh Shai had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. Point being is building your house on Yahweh Shai, having on this whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, so that you may be able to stand in the evil day. When the evil day come, the rain, the floods, and them heavy winds get to blowing, you gonna stand tall, all right? And you gonna stand out, okay? It says, it says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. All right. And then, of course, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplications for all saints. Watching what we just looked at, prophecy. All right. Because it's going to go down. This is how we stay in the Spirit and continue to keep our faith on 10. Now let's go back to 2 Ezra 9. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay? Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, we're seeing these things. The highest is visiting. Okay? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. This is why we're seeing so much of this stuff, because the end is manifest. All right? We're seeing it. Okay? Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved, okay, the elect, and shall be able to escape by his works, all right, and by faith, whereby ye have believed, building your house upon that rock, believing in Yahweh Shai, going out to the highways and byways, doing your shows, doing videos, okay, being occupied, okay. Verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. All right? And that's our hope, man, that we're going to miss all of them. We're going to see it all. We're going to see all this stuff. Dead bodies. You know, we're going to see people getting messed up out here. All right? But our hope is that the Lord has sanctified us for himself from the beginning. All right? And this is why we give our calling and election diligence, Salakia. This is why we give in diligence to make our calling and election sure. And we fighting. All right? This thing is a fight. Okay? So I'm going to end it there. Lord will, this was, exhorting and informative, edifying to the hopeful elect. And, continue to fight. Continue to fight. Continue to stay prayed up and keep that armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai on, because when it goes down, it's going to go down. We're not going to get any warnings but the warnings of these shows that we do for one another. All right, so we can stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready, man. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. On to the next video. Shalom.